All right, so today we're speaking with Franny Tacy, owner of Frannys Farmacy. Welcome. Thank you for speaking with us.
Well, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
So you are the first female hemp farmer in North Carolina within the past 75 years?
Yes, and that would be, let me put legal in front of that.
Okay.
Just,
Okay.
yes, absolutely. I was the first female farmer in North Carolina to plant hemp and did not even know until after I had planted seeds, done a harvest, donated everything, had this huge educational Hemp X workshop. And then I get this beautiful hand-forged brass cannabis belt buckle. And it said, congratulations. So my first call was to the NCDA, North Carolina Department of Agriculture. And I said, is this true? And I was like, oh, yes. We had DEA flying over our farm that first year. There was not many in North Carolina. We were only the 9th state to come online and actually grow hemp in all the U.S.
Wow, that is exciting. So how did you first find hemp, or maybe it was cannabis? How did you first come into contact with the plant and you knew that this was for you?
Well, I was a fan of cannabis. It had been part of my lifestyle when I was younger, and I went to forestry school in Flagstaff, Arizona. I came from corporate America. I have over a decade in pharmaceuticals, but farming has always been my passion. My dad was a cattle farmer, and we grew up part-time. My parents were divorced on a farm. So I was teaching business of farming classes. We bought this farm way before hemp was on the scene. I was a businesswoman teaching that and saw this person with let farmers grow hemp, help us legalize it. And I walked up and I said, what is this? And they said, well, to have a pilot program, because it's federally illegal, we have to raise $200,000, set up a commission, partner with a research university, and get 100,000 signatures. And I said, well, it's about time. So again, it was just a hobby, and all I did was sign my name and get newsletters, and I started cascading this to my friends. Well, lo and behold, I didn't realize what a huge influence that was going to be in all those avenues to be able to get it passed in our state. So it had gone in and out. It wasn't approved like 5 times. So we were all just kind of blowing it off. We were like, oh, it's going up to vote again. It's not going to do it. It won't be this year. And lo and behold, 11:58, it passed. And the next day we get the call. And so pretty much me, Blake Butler, who's now an executive director of the entire Southeast Hemp Association, who is my partner that we started with, leaped. And then we looked. And now 3 years later, we're a vertically integrated business because there was nobody else to do it. And there's just so much glory and stories along the way.
And so what is it like actually setting up the farm for hemp? I mean, it's its own crop. And I mean, what is it like literally getting your hands in the ground?
Oh, like I said, this has always been my passion is farming. And I've done everything. Had my own garden and grown my own food for 40 years. So planting is amazing, and hemp fits so perfect into what our entire farm was as a regenerative ag farm. But the contrast, we live in this world of contrast right now, my excitement and also the terror, because there was nowhere to learn how to do it. You know, it's all just been handwritten in books from the early 1900s. And we've done research trials. We're partnered with really amazing people in research. I brought on NC State research, started a women in hemp nonprofit. So I wasn't doing it alone, because this is somewhere where I think women and men present themselves differently. We've got a lot of people that came in with hemp fever and, you know, are the experts at everything, where I always took the approach that there is no expert because nobody's done this and we don't really have the varieties. And I'm going to tell you what to do and what not to do.
And so you mentioned your Women in Hemp nonprofit. Can you talk a little bit about what it's like to be a woman in this industry and to start something like that? Because we know there's plenty of mansplaining out there. So what's it like being a woman cultivator and getting into it?
You know, and not only am I a woman cultivator, But we also have a network of farmers. We have a manufacturing facility, distribution, and 8 franchises. So I am a woman in every aspect of this business and processing even. I'm often the only woman. And there's more and more. I mean, I love that. But when you meet in smaller groups, and I've spoken all over the country and to tens of thousands of farmers, still the only woman. So my whole objective is to be straightforward and offer value. So the only way to grow and elevate this industry and get past all the hurdles is to bring everybody up and tell them the truth. But the funny thing is, a lot of people don't want to hear the truth, and they think they know better because they've done business. This isn't business as usual. I mean, from website to advertising to marketing. So I speak the truth, and I get lots of praise and lots of, that blonde does not know what she's saying. And they're not afraid to tell me to my face and ask questions like, well, what makes you say that? We're going to get rich. And I'm like, probably not.
What are some of the core values of Frannys Farmacy? I mean, you're obviously in this for the love of farming. So from the ground up, what are some of the ways that the company gives back, whether it's to women, to minorities? Because we know that there's over 40,000 people still in prison for cannabis-related offense. And, there's individuals on the outside, and we're starting these businesses. So what can Frannys Farmacy tell us about how you're giving back to the community?
Well, a lot of what we do is the heart and soul, which is this farm. And so the Women in Hemp nonprofit is an avenue for me to be able to reach more people that in education. Education is really a huge fundamental part of the way we give back. So we do farm camp, we sponsor kids. This year we did not, but they all know about hemp. They know how to grow it. They know what it's good for. Love donating my time, energy, and resources to children and to women. I also very hand selectively do some mentoring for people that I believe in. They've all started from consulting, which is amazing. And then really one of the most important things that is so passionate to my heart, my dad was a farmer, lost him in a tractor accident 3 years ago. He believed in this. 3 things. It was God, family, and farming. I don't know if he ever even smoked cannabis in his life, and he was such a proponent for this. So this heart and soul of bringing forth regenerative agriculture with hemp as a part of that and helping farmers. So we've got women farmers that we're committed to in our network. We have got farmers, farmers, farmers. That is the way we transform our agroeconomy, our families, and our communities.
Tell our audience a little bit about regenerative farming for those that may not know. I mean, what are some of the sustainable practices that you utilize?
We've got sheep, they take care of the grass. We have goats because they're browsers. They take care of brush and they trim up our trees so they look beautiful. We have 7 rotational pastures. Plant mulberry trees around them. They're a high forage, high protein forage. So the leaves fall into their pastures and give them shade and give them a nice nutritional snack. Everything we do, it's natives, organic. We've got bees, pollinator gardens, medicinals that now we use in our product line. We've got a Utopian Seed Project, another nonprofit that I support, donate our land to, that is great, raising all sorts of native foods. So it's all about the sustainable practices where everything lives in harmony together and helps each other grow and prosper.
So when it comes to selecting your hemp plants, do you use clones? Are they seeds? Is there different strains of hemp?
Yes, and this is hugely important. Our first year we grew for food and fiber. We sourced our seed out of Italy because we couldn't do it in the US legally. But we realized that, in order to be profitable and for a business, we had to transition that to CBD. So I'm involved with 2 companies and we are doing genetic trials and research. There is a lot of these strains are being modified from other strains. We don't know how they grow in different environments. So the beautiful thing with NC State research, my network of farmers that grow for us, and I brought in a lot of the women farmers as well, are all under research. So we're planting these varieties in different climates at the same time, same varieties, to compare. Next year will be the 3rd year of data on some of the varieties we've been growing with Triangle Hemp and Front Range Biosciences. And we're going to have data that's never, ever existed.
Are you guys just a wholesaler of hemp, or do you actually develop your own products? And if so, what products do you have?
So we are seed to shelf, hemp and health. So we grow all the hemp for our product line. It is one of the consistent, it's based on Bayox with Triangle Hemp and the NC State research. That's what we've used year over year. We make over 50 products with our hemp in our manufacturing facility.
Does Frannys Farmacy get their hemp tested, and what's that process been like?
Absolutely. I'm so glad you brought all this up, because it's so important for consumers to know. I mean, it really is a consumer beware market right now because it's unregulated. And a couple of years ago, when the FDA pulled 86 samples and only 24 had CBD in them, that is an indicator of the hemp fever, people get in, get rich quick scheme. So the trust is very important. And since we were the first, we developed those protocols across North Carolina. We were the first company in the state to put COAs with our products. So they all have a barcode. You can find them online. You can find them in the store, whatever, that will trace your product all the way back to the farm. Because we're in research, we get things tested all along the grow season. As soon as they start to flower, too much, in my opinion, I'm like, y'all tested it again, 8 to 15 times. It's a lot. But again, we're using this for more than just checking the box to put it on the product. We're using this to help other people learn what you can expect along the growth cycle with that variety.
What's your standpoint on the legal system and cannabis and where it is today?
Well, the really positive thing, and this is always me, I will always say the positive, is that it's federally legal for one thing. And we push this. I grew for 2 years with the threats, real legal threats of people coming to burn my crop or, raid it or be burglarized. And, we're very fortunate, but the reason this is legal is because we, the people, made it legal. How many people have gone to prison over this stuff? And it's not about the high, it's about the healing that it offered them. This is what we do. We localize and we make an effort. The government is a huge machine. The only way to move that wheel is a whole lot of people that have the same message. So please, by all means, anybody getting involved, be part of that machine. It is still we, the people, that move that. And we, the people, will be the ones that move this into federal legalization when it happens. You have got to be the ones to stand up and out for what you believe in. And if you, like everybody, knows somebody that has benefited from this plant, then by all means, step up. Thank you so much for what you're doing in Emerald Magazine and just helping to educate and elevate this industry and the integrity of what we're doing. Y'all, I really appreciate what you do.
Absolutely. Well, it takes entrepreneurs such as yourself to let us fight the good fight. You're out there, you're in the field. So
yeah.
We appreciate you.
FrannysFarmacy.com is the source for everything. How to invest, how to wholesale, how to private label, how to franchise. And if you're a farmer, how to sell your flower. So that is the hub for everything. And then I personally have a Franny Tacy social media where a lot of it is just high vibe, health and wellness. And then our farm, Frannys Farm, is what you go to find lodging.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. And I look forward, as I said, to watching over the next few years. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Thanks.